Alright, just further to our previous video, Rob's going to now give you a demonstration on how to set up one of these Autoloc automatic buttons here. He's prepped a few things here and I'll hand it over to Rob now.
Okay, I'm just tuning up the wires so we can solder this onto the back of that Autoloc switch. We'll just get the solder on here, then we'll cut the wire length. A couple of minutes and we'll just get this all tinned. Do 4 wires at a time just so you can get all the correct length, so the wires aren't fighting each other as you're actually trying to put it all together. Right, tin like that. And just on switches on the contacts, they have some sort of resin on there that actually stops them oxidising, so you just scrape that off. It's just like a clear lacquer that they stick on there. It just stops it going rusty. It just keeps it shiny, but the solder doesn't like to grab it straight away, so you just scratch that off so it's nice clean brass.
You're using a blade there?
Yeah, I'm just using a razor blade.
A little tricky to see with this camera, but anyway.
Just clean it all off. Just helps a lot, because you don't want to put too much heat into the switch. Otherwise it will, the switch will actually start to melt because it's only plastic, and these connections will just go floppy and they'll either disappear inside or you'll just completely ruin the switch.
Alright.
Okay, so I'll tin these as well.
So you're basically putting a small light coating of solder over each of the contacts there. Is that right?
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
I've got the plug that came off there. I've actually, as you can see, the wires where they actually go on the back of the plug. I'm just going to copy that exactly what I've got here in my hand. First, I've just got to trim these wires down to length, and we've got to put a piece of heat shrink on each of them too. So the red ones first. Heat shrink, just here. Just slide these on. Got a red one on the bottom here. A fly on my leg.
Glorious Australia. Welcome to fly territory.
Let it dry for a sec. Or cool down, I mean. Alright. That red wire corresponds with where I just put that one.
Mm-hmm.
And just put the heat shrink on there like that. And we get our heat gun, and be very careful with this, because if you get the sides of the switch too hot, it will melt as well. Okay, like that. Cool it down a bit more, so the heat shrink shrinks onto there well. And then, so we get the wire to bend and put the heat shrink on it, and then we bend it like that. Because if you try and do it the other way around, if you actually bend the wire and then you try and get the heat shrink on, it doesn't want to slide on properly. So you just do it, you bend it after.
That's very elegant.
Heat shrink on it.
Nice. Nice and neat and tidy, and it'll fit between the window, won't it? Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, just about getting the clearance.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also one more thing I've been checking, because this has got a flame logo on it, and I want the logo to be up. That's why I keep checking.
Right.
That's why I want the wires bent to one way, just so it looks tricky in the car.
You're doing it the right way around. Otherwise I'll be upside down or something.
Lost my heat shrink.
Okay.
Just got to clean this again.
Right, so we're doing the same procedure again?
Yeah, it's a little bit fiddly, but it all takes time. It's all the stuff you pay for at custom shops.
It all takes time, doesn't it? Well, we're just on 5 minutes of recording now, so it goes to show that's 5 minutes just to do one. Okay.
Yeah, chin that one up.
Going to CG, yeah?
Put your wire on straight again. Just don't want to get too much heat into it. You just sometimes the solder just doesn't want to melt. There we go, it's starting to go. There we go. Just blow on it to make it go off. Same thing, put the heat shrink on it. Get the heat going. Now watch this thing, it gets very hot. Burn the fingers. As you can see, it's just starting to melt the switch because it gets so warm.
Wow. Rob's just blowing that off there just to cool a little bit quicker.
Just so this will actually, it won't pull off. It helps it shrink up a bit. So we just bend the wire up again.
Lovely.
And basically you just do that with all the wires so they all go in one direction.
And that's the same way as it was originally done?
Yeah, that's exactly where the wires actually were, in the same location.
Yep,
and the white goes there and grey there and the two blacks.
That's great. Okay, and then maybe we can get a video of you fitting it into the car a little later on. That'd be great, Rob. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.